from the year 1983 in the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Lane change cools 700 sets. A change in 10-pin Coliseum lane surfaces intended to prevent scores from being invalidated by the American Bowling Congress has been a major factor in City 10-pins' scoring decline this year. Last week, bowlers reached a low for the season as today's scores list contains no 700 sets. Last year, the city record was broken 6 times before Tom Finney claimed it with an 813. This season, Roger Tensman's 765 on November 4th has been the city's best set. The scoring drop has focused bowlers' attention on 10-pin, the Southside house that for almost all of its 22-year history has led the city in pinfall. The center features the city's most prestigious leagues. 10-pin manager Herb Francis didn't intend to sabotage the bowlers when the house switched from water-based lane surfaces back to urethane, which had been the house's lane surface since the mid-70s until 1982. The water-based surface had better scoring properties than urethane, but problems arose. The water-based surface is more porous than urethane, absorbs lane oil, and creates dry areas at the end of the lane in the power zone, Francis explained. Although you get higher scores, you can get a condition that the ABC doesn't approve of. The ABC has been under a lot of pressure because of all of the high scores that were shot last year. And one thing we don't want is to have any scores shot in our house refused. You want to maintain the integrity of your condition. He also said that urethane is more durable than water-based. It was so much work last year trying to keep the condition consistent, Francis said. Urethane is so much easier to keep up, much easier to keep the condition consistent. Francis said he believes that most bowlers haven't been aware of the surface change's effect on their shots. Wayne Sheridan, a member of the Greater Richmond Bowling Association Hall of Fame, explained. Since urethane is less porous than water-based, Sheridan said, oil sits on top of the lane, and the balls push the oil to the outside. That tends to take away the outside shot, but by the same token, it should make the inside shot more available. Bowlers who last year enjoyed high scores rolling the outside route haven't been able to readjust this year, Sheridan added. Although the lane surface is different, bowlers seem to insist on making the outside shot work. Said Francis, bowlers will roll outside and hope the ball is going to hook back, but it's not going to come back. Francis argues the outside shot is still possible, but now it requires a sensitive adjustment. It's a matter of rolling the ball with the correct speed, Francis said. Both Francis and Sheridan believe bowlers were spoiled by last year's conditions. There are a lot of factors now that affect scoring, Sheridan said, and what separates the good bowlers from the average bowlers is the ability to adjust to the conditions. The conditions certainly aren't going to adjust to the bowlers. Said Francis, it seems to me we're developing bowlers who have to have soft balls and ideal lane conditions and pin action to score. The game wasn't intended to be that way.